So, how did you get the two names Dorothy and Cass?
Well, I hated the name Dottie for short, so I just decided to use my middle name, Cassandra.
Okay.
The name Cassandra stuck.
So, what are your first memories living at Laurel and Clayton area?
Okay, my first memories are of my living at 11 Prospect Street. Uh, there was a church on the bottom floor, and above that there were three rows of apartments, three deckers above that. But my best experience, my first experience, was of my friend Kathy, who lived on the top, and I lived on the second. And we would go up and down the stairs after our parents told us do not go up and down the back stairs because you could get hurt. And we thought we were doing something by going up and down the stairs. But lo and behold, by the time we got up there, someone would be up there to say, "We told you not to do that." And I would get either dragged down or Kathy would be dragged up the stairs, and we knew what was coming. We would get yelled at like you would not believe. But they were right. You'd fall down, you'd really get hurt. And there were wooden stairs and everything. We probably would get a lot of splinters and stuff. But that was my first real thing. Kathy still is my best friend today. She lives in California. And even though she lives out there, she says, even though she's born here, she would never come back here to live. And I could never go out there to live. No changing of the seasons. I couldn't handle it. My parents, especially my father, got wind of the fact that they were going to be doing something in our area. Sort of like he knew, he had a premonition. Actually, his friends sort of told him. They sort of told him, man, they're going to come through here and you're going to have to look for someplace else to live. Well, my father found a place on the top of the hill on Eastern Avenue. He didn't particularly care for the place, but it was all he could get. Being black, not being able to get a real mortgage on the place, and not being rich and just being an ordinary black guy. There was almost no way, but they took it anyhow. And they fixed it up the best that they could, and we moved in. I wasn't crazy about the place, but what the devil, I had to change schools from Thomas Street School to Elizabeth Street School. And eventually my friends had to move to Elizabeth Street School, and it came out okay. In the 60s, there was the Vietnam War. I was more into that than I was freedom and civil rights, because they were sending the black men over to Vietnam to fight for things that they did not have when they came back to the United States. They had no freedom when they came back to the United States. So therefore, I would go to Fort Devens, where there were a lot of black men getting ready to ship overseas to fight the Vietnam War. I was sort of a crazy person. And I would go and I would say to them, I can't even remember what organization it was that I belonged to. The USO or something like that I belonged to. And I would go out there and we would go and be friends with the guys out there and have coffee and tea. And I would go there, instead of being one of your ordinary girls that would go out there, I would say something like, you know, you're going out there for nothing. When you come back, you're not going to have the same freedoms that you're given to the people overseas in Vietnam. Why go? I would be saying all these things. In the meantime, I met my husband. We fell in love, got married, and moved to Detroit. And I had my daughter, Shara. And it was not good. So within a year, I guess I'd say I did that, and I was infatuated or something like that. So it didn't last any more than a year. I came back to live in Worcester, and here's the place I've been ever since. I was very fortunate. I came back home, and my parents welcomed me back into the fold, and a lot of parents would not do that. We had big decisions to make. Whether to leave the boys in school, Mark and Jeffrey, my sister's kids, in Leicester, and bring them to Worcester, or to leave them there. Leaving them there, I would have to leave Shara there in Worcester during the week and bring them to Leicester during the weekend. Since the boys had already faced a traumatic experience, we decided to let them stay in Leicester schools and bring Shara to Leicester during the weekends. That worked out wonderfully well. We shared more of experiences together with the boys than we thought we ever could. Especially during the football and basketball games. We enjoyed the basketball games, but we really, really liked the football games. Those were the best, especially during Thanksgiving. What was worst of all was the mothers during football games. They would get out there and cheer like you would not believe. I learned how to do that. It was a unique experience, I'll tell you. But I learned to love football, and that was very important.
And I'm going to go left, right?
Did we go by the house?
This is, I think we should have gone that way.
No, you're supposed to.
When we came to the fork in the road.
Right, then you're supposed to go.
That's new. That's the same old house.
So it's the first house on the left.
God. Yeah. It was the first. No, this is Pitcairn going there. You just came up Pitcairn.
Right,
You
and it
turned-
was the first house on the left, I did.
Yeah. It's hard to tell in the snow. You're taking your first left.
First left.
Yep.
Okay.
That's Pitcairn.
All right. Well, you know the house?
I believe I do.
Sure.
That's 2. That's number 2. Pitcairn. You go down further. That definitely looks like this has got to be it.
Number 6.
This is number 6 Pitcairn. So
Okay, now.
a lot of my sister's stuff is in here.
Whoops.
My sister's watch.
In the late 1970s, a full-blown war was
That
underway in
that's
New York
Elaine's
City
watch?
Elaine's
between
watch.
Italian and Irish mobsters.
I'm glad you got that.
Yeah.
At stake were the lucrative criminal rackets on Manhattan's west side, worth millions. Freelance
Never
hitman
fit on
Joe
me.
Sullivan was in the thick of it, carrying out more than a dozen murders for the Genovese crime family.
Does it fit?
The
No.
most prominent victims on his hit list.
Might
Almost.
fit on
Top
you.
enforcers in the Irish
I
mob.
don't know. My arms got a little fatter too.
While sitting
I see.
Eddie the Butcher Kaminsky
Oh my goodness.
and Tommy the Greek Kapados went out for an early one to
Um,
his reputation.
No.
Tommy being nicknamed Mad Dog.
When
Remember
Joe
this?
Sullivan became
Yeah.
the force that he was, I believe the people in the neighborhood gave him.
You have a matching set.
Yep, matching set.
Was that from California?
I don't know.
Joe has 6, 7 different personalities.
I
Joe
forgot
could be
this.
Joe, and then he could be Sully, and then he could be outright, Joe the killer. It
Wow,
could be
we're all
anything.
trying to
Whenever he
lose weight.
wants, he could be, he could turn himself
That
on.
fits. That fits.
And the hits kept coming. In 1978,
But you can
his
wear
boss,
that.
John Sullivan,
Yeah.
called with another
My sister was 16 years older than I when she was born. And when I was getting older, you got to realize she was going into the Air Force, and I was just walking around looking at things. And that made a very big difference in things that I did and things that she did, as you can imagine. When she came back and got married and everything, had her kid. One of my first jobs was working at Great Brook Valley Health and Social Service. It was very, very, I don't know how to explain it, but it was a wonderful place to work. I enjoyed the people. I enjoyed the doctors because they were very good. It was just a wonderful place to work. I don't remember how long I worked there. Had to have been a few years. I believe that I went on and worked at UMass in the radiology department, medical records department. And I enjoyed that a lot. It worked out well for me. I worked there over 30 years. It worked out well for me because I enjoyed the people I worked with, and not only that, the patients. I left there when they brought in the computers because there was no contact with anyone, and I tend to be a people person. And that's the only way you can really help people, is being a people person.